Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. Sat there for a good 2 minutes trying to think of what to say. That's mostly because, well, today's episode and yesterday's episode was not really that far apart. Katie and Carter were completely useless in this episode. Except for Katie wants to sit there and ride for Brooke and be like, hey, I want you to sit there and have your ever after, your happily ever after with Ridge. Um, Which okay, let's talk about this whole pack for a minute and just why it's so stupid. And for a couple of reasons. Don't get me wrong. It's a good premise. It's a good idea if they're actually going to sit there and fully commit to it. But there's a couple of problems with this pack. Okay, unless they decide to bring in two more men, somebody is going to break this pack. Okay, so since day one, people are just um not really feeling this pack, not really something they think it's going to last. And that's just because of what I said. Well, that's not just because of what I said, but that's just one of the reasons why. Because they don't actually have any other men that Taylor and Brooke can sit there and be with. Number two, well, is Brooke and Taylor. And as we know with Brooke can't sit there and be without Rich for too long. So the fact that they actually spanned it out as long as they did, we should probably give them a certain level of credit because she didn't just jump right back to Ridge, as soon as she could. Instead, what they decided to do was sit there and flirt with the idea of Brooke and Taylor being a thing, which is why you saw my thumbnail yesterday. So that's number two. Now number three, there's really no number three. But at this point, we got Taylor that keeps pushing Deacon onto Brooke, says where she can get a clear shot at Ridge. Up until the point where where Deacon calls Brooke over to confess his love. Um, I did like that quote that Deacon did sit there and say back I don't know, maybe just like back in the 80s or whatever. How does it go? What do you live for? What do you fight for? What do you die for? That's not the exact quote, but I like it though. It's very 80s. But yeah, he pretty much kind of shoots a shot with her. And, she just stands there doing the whole smiling, like, what's going on? This, that, and the third. And I'm like, why not? You know? You're not you're still upholding your pack. Why not? Um of course she was with Ridge. She didn't really get into it as opposed, on why her mood was bothered and what she was kind of bothered about with Taylor. She did just sit there and say, well, it concerns the kids. But we're still upholding our pack. Um, so she leaves, and of course, after Taylor keeps pushing Brooke onto Deacon, telling Deacon, oh, shoot your shot, keep going for it, keep doing it. She went to Ridge. And then she was all like, oh, well, you've been a big part of my life, and yada, yada, yada. It's just so stupid. It's just so dumb. I do feel like in some sort of way that when Brooke came over, they were sitting there bonding over RJ and his IG post. I'm assuming, um, this whole thing is stupid at this point. I feel that if Taylor gets away, Brooke and Deacon are going to be together, and that leaves Taylor with Ridge. She kept sitting there saying to Deacon, "Oh, you can be the answer to this vicious cycle for so many years." I was like, or you two could just act like grown ass adults and decide to have told him to kick rocks and that there's about a billion other men on this planet. You could have just did that too. But I guess this is cool too. I guess this is okay. Whatever. Not gonna lie, kind of stupid, but the fact that you're sitting there saying that he's the key to ending this cycle as opposed to two grown ass adults being like, why are we playing this game? What else? Um, did talk about Deacon. I mean, I did talk about Katie and Ridge, and Katie and Carter, which didn't do anything for this episode at all. Did not add any value whatsoever, except for to sit there and say that Katie is Team Brooke, despite the fact. So yeah, this is a very short review. This is a very short review, but I really have nothing to add to it, mostly because, well, this episode in a lot of ways is like yesterday's episode. Not really a lot changed. But if I did miss anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and go over all of it. We'll sit there and talk about B&B, Y&R. I'm going to be watching Y&R. Okay, just to, in the future, and I'll probably sit there and re-say this to the new people that come in. I almost poked myself in the eye. Even if I don't do a review on B&B, or if I don't do a review on Y&R, I'm still watching it, okay? I've gotten to a point where it's like I've literally sat there, depending on how late it has been since I got home, and I will literally watch an episode within 10 minutes before I go on live stream. So I watch all the shows. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna do one on days because the numbers weren't really looking so hot. But I will be sitting there watching it though. So come through. If I don't do a review on B&B, I'm still watching it. So just know that. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.